Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. This might not be so good for you, depending on who you are. So, you know how I do. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message is a story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to what? Enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, and that's what it is, not a religion. Through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is to get all right thinkers to know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So I'm here to do all the things I can to get you to know thyself. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows not, excuse me, a person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up. That's what I do for you with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my eye, be true. Right thinkers. This ain't for you. This is for the other guys. Self destruction. People with that belief system, we headed for self destruction. Let's talk about that. Here you go again. Yep, I'm coming at you because I'm getting a little annoyed with your belief and your ideas of thinking you're doing something. I'm gonna let you know it ain't work. Watch this. We as a people are what? Self-destructive. By nature, human nature, until you what? Become knowledge and have understanding to do better for yourself. Because we are really our worst enemy until what? Enlightened, until what? Taught. Remember, we are programmed by the people before us, our parents, first 7 years, program. So whatever environment you brought up in, that's pretty much how you're gonna be until what? You wake up and change the programming of somebody else's program that you follow. Okay, most of us follow religion because that's a program. Let's go. We all feel like what? We have to be religious to serve God. That's not true. That's wrong. Religion holds you accountable to serve a God of their religious choice again. No problem. That's why I respect the understanding of religion. I got that. I don't respect the people who mispractice, misteach, and misunderstand what they call religion. Simple, okay? So, I don't use religious concepts. I don't use biblical terms to teach my philosophy of knowing thyself, aka getting to God. I teach spiritual truths of our ancient ancestors, and I use my life experiences to validate what I've done and how I've done it my way with understanding. Now, at this point, it's all good. Why? I've mastered me. My goal is to get you to master you, aka know thyself. Why? Because with self knowledge, what happened? You will never be what? Self destructive. I guarantee all right thinkers who know themselves, we are not self destructive people. With love and knowledge of self, self destruction is not an option for those kind of people. Why? That's not what people who are depressed, people who are egotistical, people who are just ignorant will do a whole bunch of things that's just wrong and call it in the name of religion. Moving on. Your ego can't be trusted. I've been teaching that since forever. That's our major problem with the ego. Why? When you're educated and you get your higher degrees from school, colleges, and of course scholarly knowledge, you become egotistical. Why? You get full of yourself. You ain't serving God, you serving yourself. Now you're gonna make some money, you're gonna walk around with your chest all poked out, you can get a big house, fancy car. You serving you. That's the ego. And a lot of y'all don't have a clue about that. That's the ignorant part about knowing thyself. Okay, you think you know who you are, you think you know what you're doing, and don't have a clue. But as long as you're successful in your endeavors, it's okay. Until what? When? Yeah, you need them, and you will. Trust me. When you make or have personal achievements in life, okay, you're serving what? Your ego self. If all you want to do is escalate level, next level, get this to get that, to walk around with the title and all that, that's not godly. You serving yourself, which is okay and understandable. Fine. But foolish pride is walking around, I'm Dr. So-and-so, I'm the CEO of this, so I'm that. That's all ego. That don't serve God at all. But you put God in it. You claim to be a Christian, so you wear your little guard, you get your little collar. But you're just as egotistical as the people you claim to talk about when you claim and doing your little preaching thing. Sorry about that. You're back. Egoistic people, that's who y'all are. Ignorant people, what? Love what? Their accolades. They love to praise. They love people to see. I made that. I call it the jump major yesterday. Yeah, look at me, look at me. That was that guy. Humble people, true God-fearing people don't have need for that. Moving on. I ain't got time to argue, debate. I just make points and move on. That's called teaching. My ego had me doing just that, so I know that. My ego had me doing things that if I had known myself, I would never do at this point in my life. That ain't even an option in my life. That nonsense, okay? But when I was egotistical, it was all about that. It's all about me. I got to get mine. I got it. When you follow a religion, aka belief system, you are putting yourself in what? Self-destruct mode. Why? Because there's very few people who do that religion thing in earnest and correctly. It's a whole bunch of them that's doing it wrong. That's why. So unless you get a good one, I always say, my church family, brother I follow, for me, I'm good. But it's hard to find people like that who do what they claim God sent them to do. Other one, God said I need a plane. God said I need millions of dollars. God said I should have a mansion. I should be this. I be Drake. God ain't said none of that. That's all religious man view. So moving on. So again, I make that statement based on if your religions, God, and a lot of people I know, Christians, and your God don't look like you. I know a bunch of people had that white Christ in their house. My grandmother did. So don't tell me, oh, that, yeah, yes, it is. Oh, now he black. Really? But our ancestors, our grandparents, my great grandparents had that white Jesus on the wall. If your God don't look like you, that's the wrong God you serving. You get my concept? So that's what religion teaches you, to serve a God that ain't yours. Right? Think philosophy. Understand this. Gods and goddesses are what? All the same as me. Same color. You can't go to China and find a white God. You can't go to Hindu and get a white God. But you go to Africa and bring a white God, claim that's God. We ain't got to play that game. What we got to do is understand and get better for ourselves. That's why I teach knowledge of self. You become better when you become a better person for yourself. So now you can serve God. You can serve God in earnest without following any religion, dogma. Why? Their concepts is based on what somebody wants you to believe. The truth is for you to learn to be your best self. That's the difference. I practice it. If you follow a God of another race, you have committed what? Self-destruction. That's my point. And I try to make that point clear before I started. But I try to prove my point. I don't just say things and well, that's what I said. No, I can prove it pretty much and substantiate what and why I feel what I feel and how I feel it. I can articulate my thoughts and my feelings with no problem. Okay, moving on. Be they right or wrong, good or bad, I can do that. How you feel about it is your choice. Again, I live by my right thinking philosophy of ancient ancestors, and I am teaching what I know after over 30 years of practice and learning. I know this, okay? I know me. Again, I want you to be the same way, have the same confidence and knowledge of self with through what? Gaining and obtaining knowledge and manifesting for yourself to know thyself. If you are suffering, and if you have lack of self-knowledge, you are suffering. Then you are religion. Why? You're looking for something. And what's that? Belief. Now you want your belief to be founded. And in religion, it's in you. Understand that. I have met a few religious people who know themselves through the practice of their religion. That's why I know it works. Why? I've met people who doing it in every religion. So I know the religion work. Now, I don't have a problem with that. I can tell you that. But I also see, I've met a few religious people who know themselves through the practice of that religion. But I see a lot of religious people who don't know themselves or the religion that they profess to follow. That's my issue with those people. But I can't enlighten or educate them. Why? Because their belief is in something that they ain't even trying to hear nothing else. Moving on, I know that. But the reason for their suffering and the self-destruction is what? Ignorance of the truth, aka the real self, the higher self, God. They gave you, manufactured some concept that you, for some reason, believed and just all in it with that nonsense. Everything is, well, you Christ, Jesus, man. So, stop. Get back. The lesson is about self-destruction. Once you decide to follow a philosophy that don't work or suit you, you are becoming self-destruction. Why? You doing it to yourself. You made that choice. Religion didn't come and grab you. You went to it. And they love that. Okay, like the hot pan. It just sits there and says, come on, touch me. Come on. Yeah, they love that. That concept. But if lack of self-knowledge is our problem as a people, and we've been knowing this over 2,000 years, you follow that crap of Jesus, but you won't take heed to a message that's been given to you, and we still haven't heard the damn message. If lack of knowledge is what is our destruction, how about obtaining knowledge be a priority as a people? Not just a few. Again, a lot don't, but a few do, and that's not going to change the dynamic. Why is obtaining knowledge not a priority for us as a people if we know that not having it is causing our problem? I don't want to get on that soapbox, but I get annoyed because everybody think they know. Everybody believe they know, don't know themselves. How about that? Move on. I'm about to wrap it up again. I appreciate you tuning in. I didn't want this to be long or drawn out. I want to make my point and get out the way. So let me wrap it up for you. Self-knowledge is the way to what? Avoid self-destruction. Destruction means no knowledge, belief. That's why if you do a belief, you're getting set up for the self-destruction. And self-destruction is what? Not knowing who? Thyself, but believing in what? Somebody else's dogma. Chasing God outside yourself is the worst thing you could ever do. Why? You never find him. They see you on a wild goose chase. Everybody know about that. Like that, the guy who finds your wallet, and then when you say, I lost my wallet, he gonna help you look for it. You know them kind of people? Instead of saying, yo, man, I got your wallet. The right thing. A humanitarian would do what's right. An egoistic person would do what's best for them. Which one are you? Moving on. If I got a wallet from you, is it gonna have my money in it? Or just my ID? So, but ignorance, again, ignorance of self is the main ingredient of what? Your self-destructive nature of the people. With ignorance, you're going to do the wrong thing. With egoistic and ego tensions, you're going to do bad things. That's why the hieroglyphic sign for the ego is a man with a hatchet to his head. I want to modernize it. Put a gun, same thing. Okay, The same concept, self-destruction. You're going to pull the trigger on yourself. I live a self-destructive lifestyle. When? Because I was ignorant of myself. I thought it was all about what I was doing, all about me, which is the ego. I served the ego self. And I had a clue about my higher self. I feel funny laughing at that now, but that's just the truth. And a lot of us won't admit to not knowing. We'll make something up. Rather than say, I don't know, I see people just come out. Well, my old man was the king of that. He would never say he didn't know something. Because to him, he knew everything. Sound familiar? One fish guy say he ain't been wrong yet. Moving on. So if you're that egotistical to think that you know everything, that's all ego. Ain't got nothing to do with God. Okay? When I obtained self-knowledge, self-destruction went bye-bye. Okay? Now all I'm doing is building, trying to construct and restruct. If I taking something down, it's because it's bad. It's not good. I will destroy evil. Yeah, I take it out. Ignorance. I'm swapping you bad. Last one, again, appreciate you tuning in. Right thinking philosophy. Once mastered, you will become what? Undestructible. Why? You will never do harm to what? Yourself. So self-destruction is no longer in the makeup of a person who what? Knows themselves. And right thinkers, we all want to do what? Know thyself. So we take away self-destruction. If you're following a philosophy that don't make you better, change the philosophy. Become a right thinker. I can make you better. That's what I do for you. That's the lesson. I teach knowledge. I keep you from what? Self-destructing by what? Knowing thyself. That's the lesson. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thing like you have self-destructed, aka passed away. I'm out. Appreciate you.